feels unappreciated, asks his boss for a raise. Unfortunately, this young man is not the best employee. You'll see what I mean in Look Here, Boss by Vernon Howard. Nice of you to see me, Mr. Prop. I would like to ask you something. Something to do with wages. What's that, Mr. Prop? Do I think I'm overpaid? Well, I was sort of thinking the opposite. Oh, you want to talk to me about my work? I hope it's satisfactory, sir. You say I ruined 6 refrigerators last week? Yes, sir, I'll admit that, but at least it's an improvement over the 2 weeks when I ruined 16. I took time on the job to get a haircut. Well, I figured since the hair grew on the job, I should get it cut on the job. I was 2 hours late this morning. I made it up by leaving 2 hours early. I think we're off on the wrong track, Mr. Prop. I want to talk about my wages. Suppose we say $5 more starting next week. $10 less starting right now? But sir, I have a wife and 10 children who have to eat. It's a careless habit they've gotten into. I suppose I could always cut my wife to 1 meal a day. The children could always go out in the street and beg from strangers. Now look here, Mr. Prop. Do you know how long I've worked for you? Too long? Do you know what I am, Mr. Prop? Your slave. That's what I am. Your slave. Sir, I've worked for you for 10 years, and do you know in all that time, you haven't said particularly one kind sentence to me? I don't think that's particularly kind. Mr. Prop, why don't you put yourself in my place for a while? Just take a good look. You see before you a poor, miserable, dejected, unhappy creature. I left out worthless? Mr. Prop, do you remember that day 10 years ago when I first started working for you? I was a simple, innocent, unassuming boy of 16. All right, I was a simple, innocent, stupid boy. But look how I've grown with the company. I've grown around the middle. Mr. Prop, I appeal to your sense of fair play, your sense of honor, your sense of sportsmanship. You don't have any sense at all, or you wouldn't have hired me in the first place. Mr. Prop, do you realize that I am responsible for 100% rise in the last 2 years? Oh, that was a rise in expenses. Well, do you realize how I have personally increased efficiency around here? You admit every day I'm away, things really hum? Another thing, do you realize how people are always happy when I'm around? Mr. Prop, I don't think they're laughing at me. Mr. Prop, I'm going to come out with it right now. I'm going to speak just 4 little words. I want a raise. Understand, Mr. Prop? I want a raise. You'll give me a raise? You'll raise me right out this window? That wasn't what I had in mind.